Fala galera, tudo bom com vocês? Natália Devil para gravar exatamente mais um vídeo para o canal Elas na Pista. O vídeo de hoje eu vou mostrar aqui os melhores momentos da primeira etapa do campeonato virtual da W Series. Rolou hoje, dia 11 de junho, lá em Monza. 3 corridas, 2 de 15 minutos, uma de 20 minutos. Foram corridas bastante legais, tiveram aí lances muito bons, mas não vou dar spoiler, não vou falar quem que venceu as provas, então assiste todo o vídeo para conferir e no final eu vou dar a tabela de classificação. Antes de tudo, já aproveita para deixar o joinha, para compartilhar com todo mundo que gosta não só das mulheres no esporte a motor, mas também gosta de esportes. E também aproveita para se inscrever no canal, que você sempre vai receber conteúdo de muita qualidade e ficar sempre atualizado sobre essas pilotas. Então, se liga aí, tenta, relaxa, confere aí os melhores momentos e vê até o final para ver quem sai o líder, quem venceu e tudo mais.
Start there already by the looks of things there. That will be a stop-go penalty there by Caitlin Wood by the looks of things, unfortunately. But Visser is going to take full advantage down in towards turn number one around the outside there. They are side by side. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? It is last of the late breakers as they come through here. It looks like Wood is going to get through there nicely and actually pretty clean start there as we see a car in the background just going off backwards there. But as they come through turn number one then, it is Visser in the lead. So Visser's got the job done. Wood in second. Marty is in third. Sidorkova then, the 16-year-old Russian, up to P4. And as they come down towards the second chicane, it looks pretty clean here, David.
Yeah, it is indeed, and interesting there to see Marty and also Sidorkova getting their names into the public domain pretty much for the first time. You know, Visser and Wood we're familiar with from last year, but yeah, that was a fairly clean run through the first chicane. I'm surprised at that. There was a little incident before running into it, but otherwise tidy stuff. And our championship winner of last
P2.
Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? Here you see Wood getting the slipstream down towards the parabolica. Visser defending that inside line and may well just have enough on the brakes. Yeah, Wood sensibly backing out of it, and she'll be able to get a good run out of parabolica, pick up that slipstream again. And I think Visser will be under pressure into the chicane. And this is one of the fantastic sections of the racetrack here. Visser, got to say, driving very smartly in terms of making Wood go the long way round, but the long way round has taken her into the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's getting a taste of her own medicine as it stands here. But the front row of the grid are currently P1 and P2. Very clean stuff from them. And well, there you go. Job still done there by Visser, but it's only given the opportunity here for Sidorkova.
Done before parabolica.
Yeah, well, she's going to try and, well, through the Lesmo, as you can see here, not quite close enough, and actually dropping a little bit of pace here. So Belen Garcia still holding onto the position just in front. You can see slipstream up towards Ascari. Now you're really going to see that effect take place. It is huge in these cars. I don't even go as far to say it's worth a couple more tenths, what you were saying, David, here. Maybe half a second across the whole lap, maybe over a second as well, just with the nature of Monza. They come through Ascari here, and, well, just a little bit of a missed apex there, ever so slightly by Garcia. Nothing to write home about as it stands, but look at this. Look at the exit from Ascari by Chadwick as we come down the back straight towards Parabolica. I think she's going to potentially get this move done, like you said, David.
Yeah, I think this is great. I love this view, actually. We don't get the benefit of this in the real mind of the racer, and that's so important. And you know, this if this had been available when I was younger, it would have accelerated my development. You know, I've got an 11-year-old son who is all over this, and you know, of course, laughs at his father's attempts to try and master the virtual world. But it's just such a great tool, and it's fantastic actually to see that they're all taking it seriously.
Well, now we're seeing the opposite here of what Jamie just did. Well, it's going to lose a lot of time there, is Era, as they come through Ascari. But it's ghosted Caitlin Wood into a little bit of a mistake here. But now there's the opportunity. Slipstream again down that back straight, down towards Parabolica. But again, they would have only have lost time there, going side by side up and towards Ascari. So Visser must be looking in a rearview mirror, thinking, this is incredible. You guys crack on there behind me while I drive away and take the race victory. But down towards Parabolica then. Again, it is all about Caitlin positioning in her car so she cannot be overtaken. Superb stuff there so far, but now it's the long run down towards turn one. But there's going to be no slipstream now because they genuinely are side by side. So right now, as it stands, Caitlin Wood still holds on to P2, but Sidorkova is trying her level best to to get this job done again. Only 16 years old, a big opportunity to show herself on the world stage here. And while you can see there's not enough room there to go up the inside, tries to fake up the inside and now has to indeed go around the outside. And wow, can Caitlin Wood hang on? Well, late on the brakes there by Caitlin Wood, just misses the apex, but perfectly judged there. But now all of a sudden, there's 4 drivers back. Make that car as wide as possible up towards the Ascari. Just about got a nose ahead here as the young Russian. But wow, the defense fight, no, it's not going to work out, and it doesn't. Indeed, for Sidorkova, I thought that she got it done there by being late on the brakes, but unfortunately, Caitlin Wood again showing her experience and holding on to that position.
This is great stuff, isn't it? We've got 15 different nationalities out on track, and I'm just loving the fact that, okay, we would love to all be together, but this remote broadcasting is a fantastic opportunity, isn't it, to bring it. And as I learned to my expense when I was a young driver, sometimes you let frustration get in the way, and as you get experience, which is why it's so impressive to see Sidorkova's performance here, because normally with experience you really start to learn how to bring the car home.
Like we were saying at the top of the show, this is a huge opportunity for these drivers. There are so many people watching at home, and, you know, we are going to breed some new stars here. That's a fact. This is going to happen. You know, you've got to take this opportunity with both hands. You know, the amount of people who are going to be watching this, and while Sidorkova is doing exactly that, going to be really interesting to see how well she does battling side by side with Visser in the next race. But look at this battle for P3 is really heating up now here. Marty then is in P3 right now, and Tasmin Pepper just in behind as they come through turn number 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be, sorry, look, I was going to say, I don't think she's got fastest lap or not, but she'll certainly get 20 points for the win. But she's going to have to work pretty hard in race 2, coming from the back.
So the only slipstream she would have been able to use for a fastest lap would have been going past a back marker. So yeah, maybe she's got the fastest lap. We will find that information out a little bit later here. But then as we come across the line here, it's looking very good for Visser. And Visser slowing the car down. She crosses the line.
They're learning as they go here, but it's a great opportunity now to see this reverse grid.
Absolutely. So it looks like Kymäläinen, or, well, Vulvel Vend is on pole position here. Tomaselli then is in P2 then as we head down in towards turn number 1 again. It's almost 5 abreast here, and wow, are we going to see some carnage? We've got some of the faster drivers in behind here, but it looks like, oh, there's another car facing off here. 2 cars there facing off. That's not ideal, and actually ends up being a little bit of carnage here at the start of the race. But Emma Kymäläinen's got through nice and cleanly, very much reminiscent of Visser's start from race number 1. Fabienne Vulvend then is in P2 here as it stands, but there's a little bit of carnage there. We were expecting it. It was pretty clean at race 1, but with this reverse grid toss-up, David, well, yeah, not the cleanest of starts.
No, it's not, but look at that. Visser up to 12th place already, so she may have started at the back up to 11th already, so she's definitely on a charge, and she's got her arch rival from last year, Chadwick, just in front of her. Pepper there having a partial spin at the second chicane, and didn't quite...
To Vulvend. Gosha Radestan is currently P3. Looks like a mistake there by Sarah Moore. Some more there just drops off ever so slightly here. We've got Marta Garcia currently then in... Oh, hold on, has there been a mistake here? Yes, so Sarah Moore's dropped back now. So Sarah Moore down into P6, and Sidorkova has moved up to P5. Next up then is Radest for Sidorkova, and Sidorkova is doing the last of first challenge right now, and well, very successfully as it stands.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff. And just trying Kymäläinen to try and work out exactly how much of a gap she's managed to pull away, because I think it could, even in the short format racing, I think it can, as we're seeing here. One worked out, happy, sad, whatever their emotions are. They've got to reset, as we've got a spinner there at the Ascari chicane.
Yeah, there was a spin there. Not too sure who that was. Jamie Chadwick, by the way, has just moved up into P5. That was Sarah Moore again, I think. So Sarah Moore there, not having the best of days here in race number 2. But Jamie Chadwick then up into P6 as it stands, I believe. We've then got Garcia and Radest. Looks like they're having a nice little battle here as well. And actually, no, looks like Garcia's dropped down ever so slightly.
And she'll need to use all that life experience to try and keep a calm head.
Yeah, Radest here, though, trying to hold up Marta Garcia. Of course, Marta Garcia, one of the race winners from last season. Well, she'll be looking to add to her tally here today. But again, not quite close up to the front 2. But again, this is the battle for the podium. We know how important it is to the drivers to get those podiums. But while they're battling for position, it's going to give Sidorkova the opportunity. Jamie Chadwick now just closing up. Like there's a a peak performance age, if you like. You get to sort of around 25 to sort of 28, and that's kind of your prime years, if you like. So to see Sidorkova at the young age of 16, you know, it's not just against any old random person online. You know, these are some of the most seasoned drivers in the world of motorsport. And it's just like nothing for Sidorkova. Absolutely incredible to see. Struggling now to catch up to Gosha. So Gosha has really, again, turned the rockets on for herself here and really wants that P3.
I think it's interesting. You know, I'm learning ultimately from your experience that you say that sort of window of mid-20s is probably the peak time where you've got the right level of experience, and I suppose you're a little bit like not giving them such a great grounding to enable them to come in at a much younger age and not feel like I did, which was a little bit, you know, a little bit out of my depth in the first couple of years.
That's another thing that you feel out of place. It's like, oh, should I be excited about this? Like, yeah, this is huge. A race win, whether it be against 10 of your friends on the internet or whether you be at the top level like we're witnessing right now, it's still winning. Winning is it's infectious. When you win, you breed winning. You know, you do it more often because you've been there, you've done it. You know how to cope while leading a race. You know how to make that last gasp overtake. You learn how to deal with the pressure. So to see two different winners in our first two races, as it looks like it's going to happen here, that's huge. Wow, everybody so quick. I need to a few more hours in, you know. Ultimately, you know, it's a horrendous situation we're in right now by being at home all the time, but there's an opportunity for these drivers to really put those hours in and showcase their skills. But as we see this, it looks like Rodest is actually caught up to P2 here, so we could have a battle for P2 as they come down in towards Parabolica. And I'm pretty sure that isn't a back marker here. So Gosha Rodest then trying to make a move. And yeah, it definitely is for P2. And Rodest is absolutely smashing it right now. Nearly a bit of contact through Parabolica. And well, into the slipstream. And all of a sudden here, we've got a proper race on our hands as we go round the final corner. It looks like Kymäläinen is going to take the victory here. But
that's a great thing. It gives them that opportunity. So, race 3, all to play for.
Well, here we go. We are indeed off here. And, well, Caitlin Wood momentarily got a pretty damn good start here. But it's Agron for P3 up into P1. Marty, by the way, up to P2 as we come down in towards turn number 1. And it's 3 wide. It's 3 wide for the front for P1. And it's 3 wide for P4 as well. But it's Marty that takes the lead. What a start there by Marty. Agron is second. And Visser has moved all the way down into third. Wood, we were talking about the positives from the, you know, having that mistake from race 1 into qualifying for race 3. But already down into P5. And, well, Sidorkova, it's been all about her today, already into P4. What a start.
Yeah, it was good. There was one little spinner I saw at back of screen through the middle of the first chicane, but a much cleaner start all round as we have got a spinner at the second chicane and another one going into the gravel actually. Who was that there? That was Agron who got involved.
Agron's got herself up into P1 and then down to P11. And Marty, over the 3 sessions here, practice, she did a 52.7, and in qualifying, got faster. More pressure, got faster. So maybe we might be able to see something similar in this race here. We were on board then with Jamie Chadwick. So Chadwick there is in P9 by the looks of things. And actually, no, it's P9. So P9 then for Chadwick. But it is, again, Marty versus, well, not again, but Visser at the front end, the sharp end of the grid. But then in behind them is Sidorkova. Sidorkova already up into P3 here. And, well, she's not going to be...
In real-world racing, the rubber's going down as that's a slow-moving car. Who was that? Has that got some damage on the car that they've just been passed by the race leaders? So being lapped already.
Yeah, it looks like that might be Belen Garcia, unfortunately. That's not the greatest of starts here. But again, these drivers aren't going to be too worried about that. Visser closing the door here. Neria has never had any sim racing experience before today, or this week. So it's the first time she's ever jumped on the sim. And, well, you know, natural talent speaks volumes here, leading the race. And, well, with someone like Visser behind her, who's got so much experience in sim racing, so much... not able to take full advantage on the exit here. And actually, Visser already driving away. But where does this leave Sidorkova? Well, actually, Sidorkova hasn't really closed that gap then in P3. So, again, it was Marty kind of let it happen more than anything. Are we seeing mind games being played here already at Monza? Because sometimes it's better to be in P2 than P1. Of course, everyone loves to be in P1, but it's one of those circuits where if you're in the slipstream, we saw that Rodest nearly got a podium or second position in race number 2. It's almost better to be in second than in first.
Yeah, it's going to be very telling, isn't it, these next couple of laps to see whether Visa can break away. Marty doing a good job right now of staying within slipstream distance.
Yeah, it's a strange one again. It's a gamble. It's certainly a gamble if you're going to give up a position, especially a lead. But Vissa is going to be loving life, and actually Vissa has driven away. But the hours upon hours, the weeks, the months, the years of practice in sim racing to not know that it is quite realistic in that respect. Yeah,
I think that clearly is just a bit of a lack of experience in understanding that you may well be not actually moving when you're on the simulator, but the actual program. Use that, I think, in good effect down towards Parabolica. Slight mistake from Rodest coming out of the Ascari chicane. So Powell now getting out onto the racing line. This now becomes a battle of the brakes. Well, in actual fact, she's able to use that momentum. Well, I correct myself again. Rodest there using the inside line on the brakes. So now I'm surprised Powell allowed her to slip it back down the inside, but she'll come back at her as we go across the start-finish line.
Yeah, it looks like Gosh has got the brakes nailed here, and Alice is got to really put the move's got to be pretty much done before they get into the braking zone. And again, we're seeing very similar here. As soon as they pull out of the slipstream, the cars go to very even pace once again. And again, Gosh on the brakes late here. She hit the apex this time. Yes, actually beautiful bit of work there by Rodest, and keeps that position. So Alice keeps getting the opportunity, the snifters of opportunities, and Gosh is like, not today. And we saw in race 2 that she was exceptionally good at closing in on the brakes on the final lap. Again, wasn't able to get P2, but in this final race of today, again, showing how good she is on the brakes. I was speaking to Jamie yesterday. Now, 3 very straight parts of the circuit. Split between them is Ascari and Parabolica. So I'm excited to see that already it's happening here. Gosh, trying to retake that P5. And, well, this is a battle for the ages right now.
Yeah, this is great. This is absolutely fantastic racing and wheel-to-wheel stuff, and the sorts that you can get in Monza. There's those long straights where momentum carries. So let's see if Powell can come back again on the run down to Parabolica or down into the first chicane. So Rodest will be checking her virtual mirrors as she goes along. You can see Powell now again on the outside. We know the lap before she didn't manage to get it done on the brakes, and everything we've seen from Rodest and her braking ability. I'm amazed that she's able to get the car stopped and pick up those apexes whilst exploiting the braking in the way she is.
Yeah, listening to Alice Powell here, though, she was getting off the gas like 3 times into the braking zone there. So I still think she's learning the car, still learning the track here at Monza. So for me, Alice Powell's learning for drivers. Monza's a very easy circuit to learn. I use the term, it's easy to lap around Monza, but it's very difficult to be fast around Monza, or ultra fast. But it's a lot easier than Kota, for instance. Kota is just got so many different nuances to learn.
Yeah, I can definitely concur. I actually drove the Kota racetrack. I was the first person to do so, even before they'd laid tarmac. I drove it when it was just dirt in a demonstration with a Formula One car. So I thought I kind of knew my way around, but when I tried it in the F1 eSports event that I did a couple of weeks ago, I thought, where did that corner just come from?
Bom, pessoal, vocês viram aí que a Visser ganhou 2 corridas, ganhou a primeira e a terceira, e a Emma Kimlein venceu a segunda. Foram corridas boas. Quem sai como líder não poderia ser ninguém que não a Batesky, ela que sai com 49 pontos, 3 pontos à frente da Irina Sidorkova. A W Series ainda pode aprender bastante, né, para entregar um campeonato ainda melhor. Eu gostei já dessa primeira etapa, mas eu acredito que ainda pode aprender mais ainda. E a gente já tem alguns nomes aí para ficar de olho, que é a própria Visser, a própria Irina, a Nerea Marti, que também foi muito bem. Então, assim, vamos conferir aí nas próximas semanas. Comenta tudo aqui embaixo o que você achou, se você curtiu, e vamos discutir aí. Valeu e até a próxima!